Africa is the poorest continent in the world, but getting visas to visit some countries on the continent can be extremely difficult. Unlike the European Union, which allows free movement of its people amongst member states, Africans still need visas to travel within the continent, even though they are all members of the African Union. Visa requirements create difficulties for intra-African travel due to administrative burdens, financial constraints, limited access to embassies and consulates, restricted mobility, and impeded spontaneous travel. The application process involves time-consuming paperwork and costs, making travel unaffordable for many. Limited diplomatic representation requires long travel distances to access consular services. Separate visas for each country restrict freedom of movement and deter exploration. Planning and applying in advance limits flexibility for spontaneous trips. While efforts like the AfCFTA aim to simplify visa procedures, the current landscape hinders seamless travel within Africa, impacting individuals' ability to explore the continent. Here are 10 African countries where getting a visa is extremely difficult. In no particular order, of course. 10. Libya. Due to political instability and security concerns in Libya, obtaining a visa for Libya can be difficult. The country has restricted entry and has limited consular services available. 9. Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea has strict visa requirements, and obtaining a visa can be a complex process. It often requires an invitation letter, sponsorship, and additional documentation. 8. Angola. Angola has specific visa procedures and requirements, including an invitation letter and proof of accommodation. The process can be time-consuming and require detailed documentation. 7. Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, has complex visa procedures, and obtaining a visa can be challenging. The DRC requires travelers to apply in advance and provide various supporting documents. 6. Sudan. Sudan has a reputation for having stringent visa requirements and a complex visa application process. It often requires a letter of invitation, thorough documentation, and a waiting period for approval. 5. Algeria. Algeria has strict visa regulations and requires travelers to obtain visas in advance. The application process can be time-consuming, and specific requirements must be met, including supporting documents and proof of accommodation. 4. Chad. Chad has relatively strict visa requirements, and obtaining a visa can be a lengthy process. Travelers are typically required to provide a letter of invitation, detailed travel itinerary, and other supporting documents. 3. Angola. Angola, as mentioned earlier, has specific visa procedures and requirements. Obtaining a visa can be complex and time-consuming, often requiring an invitation letter, proof of accommodation, and detailed documentation. 2. Zimbabwe. While Zimbabwe has implemented efforts to ease visa processes, it still has certain visa requirements that can be strict. Visitors are typically required to obtain visas in advance, although some nationalities can obtain visas upon arrival. 1. Eritrea. Eritrea has stringent visa requirements and limited diplomatic presence, making it challenging for many travelers to obtain a visa. The government tightly controls entry and has specific regulations in place.